Guys,
2020's been a crazy year, but one thing that hasn't stopped is the fishing. And this year for Christmas, going into 2021, we got some sweet baits, and we want to review it and show you guys some of our opinions of the baits we got.
okay, so one of the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Jackal KR. And so, I actually, honestly, most of the stuff I found out through Tactical Bassin. So,
shout out.
But it's a pretty nice frog. It's actually way nicer than any frog that I've used.
No knocking the pack.
Yeah, no knocking the booyahs, but
that's the best frog out here. And
you know,
sometimes you just gotta change it up a little.
But you can tell it's like pretty small for a frog.
Yeah, we'll play a clip of this right now.
And so basically, pretty much the only reason I got this frog is because it was a smaller size. It seems like around here, a lot of the fish tend to go after a smaller frog more than like a bigger frog. We live up in Michigan. So, I mean, we don't have like any like 13 pounders or anything, so.
It's got a really nice dark belly on there too.
Yeah, I got like a bluegill kind of black color. It's mostly just black when you see it from the bottom, but you tend to just get more fish, and you still get big fish too. I mean,
yeah,
I've caught fish like somewhere around 5 pounds on the Booyah Pad Crasher
Bigger
Junior
that,
frog.
Buddy.
What?
Bigger than that, buddy.
I honestly don't know.
You throw up a picture of that and they'll determine for themselves.
Yeah, you can see for yourself some of the fish I caught on smaller frogs. I mean, yeah, like generally like honestly like 3 to 4 inches maybe. I don't know how big like some of the bigger frogs are, but I definitely tend to go with a smaller frog around here.
And it's a walking frog too.
Yeah, I've heard it's got like these kind of.
It's a nice belly on there.
It's got these like cheeks on it that hopefully makes it like walk a lot easier than most frogs, because I know that was one of the things I didn't really like about the Junior Pad Crasher is
they're really hard to walk. Extremely hard to walk.
Yeah, because it's just like just like shaped like a pill.
Yeah.
And it's like not very easy to walk, especially when you like factor that it's one of the smaller sizes too.
Alright, reaching into the goodie bag here. I have the Berkeley Warpig, and up here, post-spawn and pre-spawn, this thing is a killer. A lipless crankbait. And I really decided to get this year because it was a smaller size, but it was a heavier weight. So it could get down and imitate those smaller fry from last year. And this is going to be really nice fishing riprap and stuff like that. But yeah, this is it's got a really nice pattern. The paint job on this, the paint job that Berkeley did on this was really good. Designed by David Fritz, so you know it's good. Crankbait master.
I don't know who that is.
You're not good enough, I guess, on this. But yeah, lipless crankbait. That's gonna be my bait that I picked out.
Okay, so the second bait I'm gonna do is probably this Buzzbait. So last year, honestly it's still 2020 when we're filming this, but I like branched out as far as like baits I throw like a ton. And one of the baits that I started throwing was a Buzzbait. And I actually caught what would have been my PB, probably, if I didn't catch a bigger fish.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Well, I had a really good like 1 or 2 days throwing a Buzzbait, and the Buzzbait I was throwing was like a Walmart Strike King Buzzbait. It wasn't the best.
It worked.
It did work, except for the new one I bought.
Oh yeah, that was.
Because I had one already, and then I found like the same model in the store, and for some reason, it didn't work.
Some people just know that bait that just like works, and it will just not.
Yeah, the quality control, yeah. I guess, wasn't the best, but the new Buzzbait I got was the Picasso, and honestly, I don't really know a whole lot about like brands for Buzzbaits, I guess, but Picasso was a brand that I heard of before, and I mean the quality looks really nice on this bait. It's got a nice black skirt.
Heavy hooks.
It's got a, yeah, that's a pretty beefy hook. And honestly, you could throw a trailer on it or not if you don't want to. It could probably just run by itself. But a better quality buzzbait. So maybe I won't. Maybe I could throw it with success without it.
Consistency.
Yeah, right. So that's my second bait.
Alright. My last bait I'm going to get into, everyone's probably heard of it. It's the Mike Bucca's Baby Bull Shad. You've seen John B throw it, you've seen AP throw it, even though he hasn't uploaded on his channel in like 7 years.
Yeah, what's up with that?
He's living in the van, I think.
Probably.
The Hoopin' HQ. I got this in the trout color. It's gonna double for me as a bluegill color as well. It looks it's really lifelike, I guess you could say. The colors on it are really nice.
It's like a printed pattern. It looks really nice.
As for swimbaits go, this is really small. It's about 4 inches. 2 really nice hooks. Hooked myself twice already, so I guess that tells you anything. But I'm not going to go too far into this because we are definitely going to be making a swimbait video that's going to be going into some of the swimbaits that we received as well. Yeah. But it's just really nice quality, and anybody who's fished with it knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, new one from Ketchiko.
Alright, my last bait is going to be the ImFlut. And so, honestly, I haven't heard like a whole lot about this lately. I remember like John B's old videos with like parrots and stuff. He talked about this a lot. But
yeah, I watched some Bass University videos, and they like that jerkbait.
But yeah, it's just kind of like a budget jerkbait right around that like $10 range. You know, $9-10, pretty cheap for some of the jerkbaits that you can find out there, but it's just a basic jerkbait, honestly. I got it in like a perch color, because a lot of the fish around here tend to feed on like bluegill and perch and that sort of thing. So really basic, kind of like transparent as well. But I thought that'd do really nice in like clear water, anything like that. I've had some cheaper jerkbaits in the past, and I've already got, you know, a couple bites on them, so I figured if I, you know, stepped it up a little, I could probably catch a lot more fish with that pattern.
I think when you spend more money on a jerkbait, it's the consistency control that makes sure every jerkbait that you
quality
get is
control. That's gonna win, right?
Yeah.
I've had some like cheaper ones from like Walmart and stuff that, you know, I've gotten bit on, but a lot of times you'll miss a fish or they'll come off or whatever,
right?
Or you just won't get bit in general.
The stock hooks, because I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to replace all the hooks on any of my baits.
I'm definitely way too poor to buy
so when I get a bait, I want the hooks to be good, and I can just go out there and throw it without having to replace any of the hooks.
For sure.
I guess the next thing that we're going to get into is rods and reels. This was going to be a little tricky because I don't want to break my rod tip. This year I wanted to branch out and try a couple different rods, and one of the rods was a Dobyns Micro Sierra rod. And last year we both got the Dobyns Fury rod, and was I was pleased with that. I was pleased with it. And this year I want to continue with the Dobyns lineup, and I got the Dobyns Micro Sierra. It's I got a 7'3", extra heavy, so I can throw my swim baits, my frogs, my flipping and pitching, all that things that I need to do with an extra heavy rod. And it's got a really soft tip, but an extremely strong backbone. That's what I really like about this rod.
It's got a fast action.
Mm-hmm. And the reel I got with this is a Shimano SLX, and I got it in the higher gear. I got it in the 8.21, I think. But some people may think that's a little fast, but one thing I always say is you cannot, it's hard to speed up your reel really fast, but it's really easy to slow it down. So if you can get a higher speed reel, you can do pretty much everything with it if you know how to control your reel speed. So yeah, that's a rod and reel that I got this year.
Alright, so pretty much like sticking with the same brands. I really got the same reel. This is a Shimano SLX. I actually got it in the lower gear though. This is the 6.3, because with this reel I'm going to be doing a lot of cranking. So this rod is a little bit cheaper rod. It's the Dobyns Colt, which is just one step down from the Fury, which I got last year. And the thing about this rod is it's got a really parabolic action to it. And so when you're fishing jerkbaits, crankbaits, like square bills and stuff, it's just gonna keep the fish on a lot better because the rod's gonna load up more. And so when they go to shake their head, they won't be able to unload the rod and throw the bait. And so I was probably gonna put like some 12-pound fluoro on here to get, you know, baits down and for clear water and stuff, because I know this will probably be a pretty nice jerkbait rod too, with those, like, you know, small treble hooks on like jerkbaits and stuff. But I was really happy with this combo. It feels like really light, especially for the price too. Like, I think this rod is like $80. It definitely doesn't feel like it's $80 at least, you know.
One of the things I want to talk about in the price point is when he is throwing that rod, okay, so if you're looking to buy a rod and you don't want to spend that much money, or if you have a certain like thing that you would like to do with a rod, for instance, crankbait fishing.
Application, I guess.
Yeah. So you don't have to spend as much money on a rod that you're just going to be reeling, and you don't have to feel the bottom. Whereas this rod right here, and I'm going to be crawling a jig, I would need to be able to feel that. So I'm going to spend a little bit more money on that higher end rod to be able to feel it. Whereas if you're going to be fishing a crankbait, you're just going to be reeling it in, and you don't want the fish to unload the rod.
Fish is just going to load up while you're reeling on it. So, more sensitive stuff, or stuff where you need like a more sensitive rod, like worms, jigs, stuff where you're feeling, definitely spend more on the rod. And stuff where you're just going to be doing like reaction, like cranking or doing like a jerkbait or something, you can feel free to drop it down a little bit, because other times the cheaper rods have more moderate action too, which helps with reaction baits. So don't feel the need to get a really expensive reaction bait rod, because you're just going to be cranking. You know?
Well, I guess that wraps it up for our 2020 Christmas stuff.
Right.
Yeah, definitely be looking forward to that Swimbait video, because that's going to be coming up. We're going to go in depth into a couple swim baits that we got this year as well. So yeah, stay tuned.
See y'all.